Before the portal 666 closes, a spiritual test will appear. You need to know how to react. It has just begun to close. You are inside the peak energy echo of the portal 666, the portal that opened yesterday, June 6, 2026, and whose window is still open during these very hours. There is only one reason why you need to pass this test before it closes. Most people fail it. They fail it because they expect fireworks, they expect a vision, they expect a cosmic sign that is impossible to ignore. But the true test of the portal 666 does not arrive with trumpets. It arrives in silence, disguised as an ordinary day, and the universe watches exactly who notices it and who lets it pass by. That is why you need to recognize it when it appears. Because before this window closes, every person breathing today is going to face that moment, the moment that does not seem spiritual, but is completely so. The portal 666 did not come to punish you, it came to elevate you. But it only operates for those who treat its energy with respect, not with the casual curiosity of a Sunday afternoon. I tell you clearly, this portal brings opportunities that do not appear twice, and it brings tests that do not exist to break you, they exist to wake you up once and for all. Every challenge you face during these hours of the cycle is a signpost. Every choice, every hesitation, every unexpected situation, everything is showing you which path leads to the life you have been asking for months. The portal is generous, but it is as precise as a scalpel. It gives breakthroughs to those who pay attention, and it redirects without mercy those who move distracted by their own day. There is one moment today, only one, that decides if the portal works in your favor or against you, and it arrives in a way no one expects. Imagine the exact scene. It is 6:47 in the morning. The alarm hasn't gone off yet, but your eyes are already open. There is a weight in your chest you don't remember bringing to bed. You pick up your phone before you pick up your body. You scroll mechanically for 5 minutes, you close the app. You are already tired and the day hasn't even started. That, exactly that, is the signature of the portal 666 entering your field. You didn't realize it because you thought it was lack of sleep. It isn't. It is energetic information, reaching a body that wasn't trained to read it. Today you probably noticed something even stranger. Two completely opposite signals appearing at the same time. You felt ready and at the same time insecure, confident and doubtful, calm and agitated, all within the same range of minutes. The confusing part is that both sensations feel equally true. It is not a mistake. It is not a sign that you are off the path. It is one of the central tests that the portal 666 brings to the surface. This portal puts your ability to navigate contradiction to the test, because contradiction is exactly what appears right before a major change. When the universe is moving you toward a new timeline, it sends mixed signals, not to confuse you, but to see if you trust your direction without demanding perfect clarity. Contradiction is the universe's way of asking you, can you move forward when the path is still forming under your feet? Most people panic when they feel two truths at the same time. They think they are doing something wrong. They think they have lost their connection. But the real test today is not choosing which feeling is correct. The test is recognizing that both sensations can coexist because they signal transition, not confusion. A door always shakes violently before opening. You are not here to resolve the contradiction or to fight it. You are here to decipher what it means. And while that question remains hanging, something else happens that almost no one notices. There is a second phenomenon operating right now in your body, a silent drain. Your vital energy is leaking faster than normal in situations that were harmless yesterday. A 5-minute conversation with your mother left you empty. A message from work that you used to ignore now weighs on your chest. Someone wrote something on social media, and you felt your body tighten for no apparent reason. It is no coincidence. It is the exact signature of the portal 666 while its window is still open. Look at what happens biologically. Your vagus nerve, the cable that connects your brain and gut, has been hyperactivated since last night. Your morning cortisol rose 30% above your baseline for no external reason. Your limbic system, that archaic part of the brain that detects threats, is reading the portal's paradox as if it were a predator approaching in the dark. That is why you woke up at 3:33 in the morning without an alarm. That is why at 11 in the morning You feel a tightness in your throat that has no physical origin. That is why hunger arrives disconnected from the clock. You are not sick. You are not exaggerating. Your sympathetic nervous system has been in freeze alert mode for hours because it is processing information your conscious mind has not yet named. Your energetic field is more open than usual. Not vulnerable, open. Your intuition is sharper. Your inner world reacts to influences that previously went unnoticed. And that is why the drain, which any other day would be manageable, brings you down today. It is not weakness, it is porosity. And porosity without a shield is the exact formula for spiritual exhaustion. Here is the truth without makeup. Knowing that the portal 666 brings tests and mental confusion does absolutely nothing for you. You can watch this whole video, you can understand every word I say, you can nod your head for 20 minutes. But when the invisible drain sucks out your vitality, or when the contradiction paralyzes you before a decision, you are going to go back to making the same self-sabotaging mistakes as yesterday. You are going to procrastinate. You are going to justify. You are going to confuse fear with prudence. Why? Because without a practical method of energetic shielding, without a concrete system that operates when your mind is still doubting, spiritual theory evaporates. It evaporates exactly when you need it most. Imagine an even more concrete scene. It is 2:40 in the afternoon. The message arrives. Your heart races because you intuitively know it is the opportunity. You have 4 seconds to respond before your rational mind takes control. 1 second, you feel the yes in your chest. 2 seconds, the voice appears that says, wait, read it again. 3 seconds, you are already looking for reasons to procrastinate. 4 seconds, you lock the screen. And there, without a method, without an anchor, without a tool, you choose to think it over. You choose to answer tomorrow, and tomorrow the portal has already closed. The new timeline it was offering you has sealed shut without warning, and you will spend the next few weeks wondering what went wrong, not knowing it failed, because information alone cannot sustain transformation when the real test arrives. That is why you are going to need more than understanding. You are going to need a practical tool that operates while your mind is still doubting. It is called the 21-Day Protocol, a system of vibrational reprogramming designed specifically to align your frequency with the attraction of wealth during and after the closing of portals like this one. It is not generic meditation. It is a daily, step-by-step protocol that rewrites the energetic patterns that have been blocking your prosperity while you sleep. In 21 days, your field stops filtering money opportunities as threats and starts magnetizing them as destiny. Full access is pinned in the first comment of the video. It is not for everyone. It is for those who have already understood that spiritual theory without a method evaporates when the real test arrives. Pay attention now, because that absurd contradiction you are feeling today is not mental confusion. The contradiction is confirmation. When the universe is going to change your timeline, the door always shakes violently before it opens. Feeling two opposite truths at the same time is the specific test to see if you are capable of walking while the road is still forming. Those who wait for perfect clarity before moving miss the portal. Those who accept the paradox as a map cross it. But there is another, even more subtle layer. While you are integrating this and continuing your day, the portal 666 will send its smartest trap in the coming hours. A choice will appear in front of you. It will seem extremely responsible. It will seem mature. It will seem logical. It will sound adult, sensible, almost obvious. However, it hides a particular poison that kills growth from within without leaving a trace. Before revealing to you what mask that trap wears, you need to understand another thing that is happening right now in your field. Remember the invisible drain I mentioned at the beginning. There is a surgical reason why it is occurring with this intensity. During the peak echo of the portal 666, your energy field is not just open. It is magnetized. People who normally take more energy than they give, the subtle attention vampires, the relationships that left you a bit tired and now leave you exhausted, all of them instinctively feel that you are easier to access. There are 3 specific types that appear during these days. The first is the one who sends you a message at 11 hours at night asking, "Are you there?" with nothing to really say, just needing you to sustain their night. The second is the ex who reappears in your head for no reason, and suddenly you check their profile without thinking, and 20 minutes later, You're empty without understanding why. The third is the person at work who turns every 15-minute meeting into an hour and a half of complaining wrapped in professional language. None of them are evil. They almost never are. They are simply nodes that feed on your emotional reaction, your validation, your availability without conditions. The test here is not about cutting off relationships. It is about noticing the mirror of your real priorities. Where your energy leaks is exactly where you are investing in what drags you down, instead of what you say you want. This is brutal to see because it breaks the image you sold yourself. But the portal today does not listen to your intentions. The portal observes your behavior. Who did you answer first this morning? Which social media account did you spend 47 minutes on disguising it as research? What call did you postpone for the 10th time? What project, what book, what important conversation did you push back to when I have more time? Your energy never lies. It always tells the truth your mind tries to hide from itself. It is not to shame you. It is to show you the exact difference between the life you say you want and the life you build unconsciously with your daily patterns. The powerful part, when you see the discrepancy with clarity, you can correct course in the very same instant, without therapy, without 10 years, in an instant. Now we can go back to the trap of the responsible choice we opened with. The Portal 66 is going to put you to the test by disguising fear as responsibility. It is the most sophisticated trap of the cycle. There are moments where doing the responsible thing is simply fear dressed in a suit. You will notice it when you choose what keeps everything predictable instead of what feels aligned. You will notice it when you take the safe plan because it avoids even a tiny bit of uncertainty. And you will notice it most clearly when you convince yourself that settling is somehow the mature choice, even though a silent part of you knows you are holding something back. Look at 3 visceral examples. First, you turn down a job offer that pays more and demands more, and you tell yourself it is not the right time. First, we must stabilize what I have. But what you really feel is terror at failing on a bigger stage. That is fear in a suit. Second, you postpone an uncomfortable conversation with your partner because we are not in the right emotional moment yet. But what is happening is that you know that conversation changes everything, and you still prefer the known prison. That is fear in a suit. Third, you decide to go another week without talking to that person who hurt you because one must wait for the calm. But the calm never comes, and you know it. That, too, is fear in a suit. Not everything that seems responsible is aligned, and not everything that is aligned seems responsible. The portal pushes you to evaluate not the action itself, but the intention behind it. Are you honoring your potential or protecting your comfort zone? Are you choosing stability or stagnation with a respectable label on top? The test is subtle because it is not about good or bad. It is about identifying when responsibility became a mask for avoidance. The 66 energy distinguishes between genuine responsibility, the kind that moves your life forward, and the other, the kind that keeps you trapped in routines that no longer nourish anything. It highlights the exact decisions where you feign maturity when in truth you are just being careful. Not to point you out, to wake you up from the patterns that have you standing still. Once you recognize the disguise, everything changes. You start to see which choices expand you and which choices shrink you subtly. And today especially, the portal is going to present you with a moment where this distinction becomes obvious even if you feel confusion initially. Because the second you unmask the fear disguised as prudence, the portal releases its last card. The most important one, the one that defines what version of you remains standing after this window closes. Today's energy loves to bring opportunities when you least expect them. Not when you feel confident, not when you are centered, definitely not when you feel completely prepared. In fact, the universe awaits the exact moment you feel a slight imbalance, or when your plans are incomplete, or when you convince yourself that you need just a little more time. That is when it delivers something big. This is intentional. The portal evaluates your availability while ignoring your comfort zone completely. It brings you something that seems premature, too sudden, too bold, simply out of sync. And the test is never about chasing perfection. It is about whether you can respond to the alignment even when your mind still believes you are not ready. Availability is not a feeling. It is a decision you make the instant the opportunity appears. Today something will arise that feels like a leap, a conversation you didn't plan, an invitation you didn't expect, an idea that hits you in the middle of something unrelated, a message that appears at 2:43 in the afternoon, a proposal wrapped in everyday language. While a part of you wants to postpone, overanalyze, wait for the right moment, the portal observes if you can move while the window is still open. This opportunity won't feel dramatic on the outside, but on the inside, it will ignite a sense of possibility you won't be able to ignore. Something inside you will say, "This is it," while your fear whispers, "But I'm not ready yet." That internal tension is exactly what makes the test so defining. It shows if you trust your potential more than your excuses. The universe rewards courage today, not perfection, and the instant you act, even with a minimal gesture, the portal responds immediately. That is the nature of this alignment. It opens the door the moment you stop waiting for certainty. It reveals the path only after you take the first step. This opportunity does not evaporate if you hesitate, but it does not wait for you forever either. And then we reach the core. People fail these tests because they wait for grandiose events. They wait for fireworks, visions, impossible synchronicities. But the universe approves you in the micro-decisions, answering that message instead of leaving it on read, choosing clarity instead of comfort, pausing before reacting with rage, saying yes when your whole system pushes you to say later. These are the tiny steps, not the big leaps, that change your timeline today. You pass a test every time you choose honesty, in a moment when it was easier to dodge. You pass a test when you show patience in a situation that would have irritated the version of you from last year. You pass a test when you take a single step towards something you have been postponing for months, because steps, not leaps, are what move the timeline. Growth is rarely noisy. Most of the time it sounds like you making a better decision without noticing it. Think about who you were exactly a year ago, the way you reacted to a message that bothered you, the speed with which you said yes to plans you didn't really want, the time you spent justifying people who hurt you. If you compare that version with the one listening to this now, you will see that you have already passed many tests without knowing it. The problem is that no one gave you the manual to recognize them, and that is why you keep doubting if you are moving forward. The secret that almost no one understands about the Portal 60C6 is this: it was not created to fail you. It was designed only to collect undeniable evidence that the new version of you has already taken command. It doesn't want perfection. It wants proof. And every small, brave choice you made today is already that proof. When you paused before answering with anger, when you chose clarity instead of comfort, when you spoke from your center instead of from your wound. But here ends the comfortable conversation, because the Portal 6666 window closes in the next few hours. When that door closes, it does not open like this again for months, perhaps years. And if you are listening to this and have already felt every symptom I described, the contradiction, the drain, the tightness in your chest, the waking up at 3:33, then you already know what you have to do before this day ends. Not tomorrow, not Monday. Today, before sleeping, before the peak echo dissolves completely. And if you postpone this one more time, you are not going to blame the universe, you are going to blame yourself.